When I saw everything that just like the amount of preparation that you've done and how you help us succeed in that, I'm truly grateful to you, Randy, because I would have no idea where to start. But you also have created a culture of honesty and positivity that helps people move in a forward direction when things get tough, but also to celebrate each other's successes along the way. Investing in Catalyst is more than learning a new skill and changing your career path. I feel like it's about investing in yourself and your ability to shape the life that you want.
Kelsey is such a fantastic person, and I just love her story. And I love how she's designed a lifestyle that's right for her. Entrepreneurship is not a one-size-fits-all. And in Catalyst, we teach you to design your ideal lifestyle. I've helped hundreds of nurses to do this, and Kelsey is just one of them. I hope you enjoy her story as much as I did. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining me. I know that you have a little bit different take on what success is, and I think that's going to resonate with some of the people who might watch this, because a lot of people out there aren't like, Randy, I want to make $1 million a year and just work, work, work. It's more about life. And I think your story really kind of defines that, of what we talk about in Catalyst about designing your lifestyle. And I'm excited for you to be able to tell it. So thank you for joining me today.
Well, thanks for having me on today, Randy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kelsey, start us out by telling us a little about your background, your nursing background, and how you ended up coming into legal nurse consulting and finding me in Catalyst.
Sure, yeah. So I was raised as a nurse in the neonatal ICU. I worked there for about 8 years and felt like I needed a change. So I tried outpatient nursing for a little bit. I worked your typical 8 to 4:30 job, and I quickly figured out that the rat race was not for me. I felt like I could not take a breath. We were expecting our first baby, and I knew that that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted for myself or or our family. So, I went back to the NICU for a little bit and just kept thinking, what is the next move going to be? I needed more margin in my life. I needed more flexibility, more time to feel like I could really enjoy the life that I was creating for myself. So I learned about Catalyst through my twin sister, Rachel, who
Yeah.
is, she started the program about a year before I did, and she's now a very successful legal nurse consultant. I'm very proud of her. But she, she has really kind of held my hand through the process, and I've had a really unique experience with Catalyst because of that. But I owe a great deal of my success to her, as well as other friends who have gone before me in Catalyst and who have really been catalysts themselves in my
Mm.
journey.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And I love that you say that, because Catalyst is not just Randy. Catalyst is so many other people, and a lot of our clients in Catalyst, a lot of nurses who joined because somebody they trusted was already there and was winning and succeeding. And the truth is, in legal nurse consulting, that's not a common story. Getting out of
Yeah.
a program or taking some sort of training and actually being a successful legal nurse pretty quickly, that's not a common story. And I love that you have not just a training program, you've got true connection. You've even got
Yeah.
family, twin sister who say, come
Yeah.
on, do this with me. I love
It's
that.
scary to go in blind, and I know some people do, but it is common that someone goes before you, and that's what a lot of people need to be successful.
Absolutely. When did you start, Kelsey? The
I
program?
started, it was a year and a half ago, about, yeah.
Awesome. And now
Mhm.
I know you've taken it kind of a little slower, a little like life has happened. You've had a baby in that time frame. Like there's been a
Yeah.
lot going on, and you just kind of, I love how you're not, you've taken it slower, but you're not like, oh, beating myself up. I'm not going as fast as I want. Like you're just so calm and peaceful, and you're designing this amazing life for yourself, and legal nursing is a part of that. And I love that you are getting the success that you want in your life. And tell us a little bit about the success that you've had and how you define that success as a legal nurse and coming through Catalyst.
Yeah, going off of what you said, Randy, I would say that one of my biggest successes I've experienced through Catalyst and legal nursing has a lot less to do with business growth and more to do with personal growth.
Mm,
While I've seen business growth and I'm very proud of myself for that, I needed a change. And before I took the leap, I felt stuck in nursing, which is a common theme. I was content where I was at the bedside, but I knew that I did not want to stay there forever. I was having a lot of trouble picturing what 5 and 10 years down the road looked like for me career wise. So I feel like, as far as success goes through Catalyst and legal nursing, it's given me a different purpose. It's expanded my identity. Um, I've had to trust myself and the decisions that I'm making for myself and my family to keep us on track in life and business. And it's taken a lot of bravery. And I think that that says a lot for my own personal success in life. But I can tell you that I never would have dreamed that I would own my own business.
here you are.
Yeah, here we
You're a
are.
business owner.
Here we are.
What's the name of your business?
It's Garrett Legal Nurse Consulting.
I love it. And
Mhm.
how long has that business been in existence? How long have you been marketing your services?
Yeah, I started my business January 2nd of this year.
Okay.
And I started marketing. It was probably a month and a half after that. And a lot of that had to do with me doing some subcontracting cases. It was sort of the nature of our life at the time. We surprise bought a house and moved. Our daughter didn't get into childcare when I thought that she could mid-year. And so I kind of had to reframe the way that I was thinking about the next 6 months of our life. But because of legal nursing, I didn't have to worry all that much about childcare and what am I going to do if I have to be at the hospital early and work late and my husband is a firefighter so he can't be home and um we've just really been able to cater to what we need in life right now because of this.
So awesome. And
Mhm.
now, have you gotten an attorney client yet?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, marketing is hard, as you've taught us, but there is a way to do it and do it well. But as we've discussed, it looked a little bit different for me, where I had to take it slower because I had less time to focus on my business. And I was okay with that. I am living the life that I wanted to live, where I get to pick up a shift at the hospital every now and then, but I'm home with our young daughter, and you don't get these years back with them. And so right now, I'm working on marketing. I probably send, I don't know, I couldn't tell you how many emails a day. I still send them. And yeah, as far as marketing goes, you stick with it and it takes a lot of grit, but it's worth it.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
now so it sounds like you've had your business stood up for 5-ish months. You've been marketing for 4-ish months. You've been getting cases. How many cases have you had in the 4 months or so?
Yeah, so I've probably done 12 to 15 cases
Oh, wow.
subcontracting in the last month. I've worked with this attorney client, and I love having that attorney client relationship. That's really why I decided to go down the business path and just to do it the way that I wanted to do it.
Yeah. And it sounds like you might have some time to dive into that a little more once your kiddo gets going in school. You've taken that like year and a half to just, oh my gosh, you're so right. You never get that time back. And
Mm-hmm.
even, after that, I mean, my kiddo's 12. And so many of us, I think we just kind of miss that. It's like we think it's normal and expected that we just miss our kids growing up because we're working.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that you didn't miss that you had a career that you built, a pathway you chose to walk that put you in a situation where it's like when your kid can't get into the daycare or wherever, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But you didn't have to go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It was more of an inconvenience and not an emergency.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Thanks.
What were you struggling with the most before legal nursing, before Catalyst? What did you find to be your biggest challenges?
One of my biggest challenges before starting Catalyst was just an inability to balance life and work. I
Mm,
think that people who are not in nursing have this perception that 12-hour shifts with off days in between is a dream schedule. And for some people, it is. There are people who want to do that for their entire career. And I love that that's what they know they want to do. But the reality of that is that there was not much balance or consistency with that, two things that I personally thrive off of. So I feel like being a legal nurse now has allowed me to create that balance that I want in my life. But a different kind of challenge that I faced was fear. And I
mm,
think that's a common theme as well with people who are contemplating a new career path. Through Catalyst, you really help ease those fears that people have coming in. You set us up for success in every way possible. We have every resource that we need to start a business, which a lot of people just come in and think, how in the world am I going to be a business owner? I have to learn how to be a legal nurse, but then how do I do that on top of this? And when I saw everything that just like the amount of preparation that you've done and how you help us succeed in that, I'm truly grateful to you, Randy, because I would have no idea where to start, aside from my LNC friends who I have met through Catalyst.
yeah.
Yeah, but you also have created a culture of honesty and positivity that helps people move in a forward direction when things get tough, but also to celebrate each other's successes along the way.
Well, thank you for saying that. I've tried to create that community, but it's the community that creates the community. I mean, right? I can't
Yeah.
do it without the community. And man, we have amazing people like you
Dale.
who are part of this community. I am so grateful for it. And
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned fear because you're absolutely right. It's
Mhm.
perfectly normal. We all have fear. The scariest day of my life is when I quit my job to start my legal nurse consulting firm for the first
Yep.
time. It was super scary. And even though I didn't have Catalyst and now people have Catalyst, it's still really, really, really scary to step out. And I mean, the reality is you actually at least knew through Rachel that this was real, that it wasn't a scam, that it actually
Mhm.
worked. A lot of people are just like they have so much fear, not just of their future or the unknown, but they don't know. Like is of course Randy says it's great and he's trying to sell me something, but they don't understand what's truly there. And
Mhm.
we talk about in Catalyst all the time that fear is normal and we want to do things with confidence, but you can't do
Yep.
things with confidence before you do things with courage.
Mhm.
And you had the courage to take the big steps, and now here you are living your
Thanks.
dream. You said it's pretty
Yeah, it's my
amazing.
dream. Yep.
What would you say that of everything we offer in Catalyst and such, what do you think are the one or two things that has really helped you to design this lifestyle and achieve your dreams the most?
So I always wanted to create the life that I wanted, as I've talked about, with the balance between being a wife, a mom, and having a career because I knew that I would need to work as well. And I just never knew that I could do all of that from behind a computer in my own home as a nurse. So when I learned about legal nursing as an option, it kind of changed the game for me. And it took me a minute to take the leap as it does with a lot of people. But while now I work a lot of early mornings because I have to, I'm setting my alarm at 5 or 5:30 to come work in my home office with a cup of hot coffee. I'm not setting my alarm at 5:30 to get up and get ready, drive 25 minutes downtown and work a 12-hour shift at the hospital. And there's a big difference there. So, business ownership is difficult. We've talked about the grit that it takes, the courage that it takes, the encouragement from other people that it takes, but the trade-off is more than worth it to me. Now I'm able to take my daughter to the zoo, the library, the park, you name it. And, um, like we said, we don't get this time back. And so I'm so grateful that with legal nursing, I'm able to kind of, like ebbs and flows with my life right now. So when I need to be a mom, I can take a little bit of a step back. When I have childcare for her, I can dive back in. And while I'm excited for the time to come where I have set work times Monday through Friday and we kind of have more of a rhythm, I'm grateful that right now I haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what do you think it was about this pathway and Catalyst? What did it give you that helped you achieve this? What do you think was like, if you had to say the biggest thing that I got out of Catalyst, the most important part of Catalyst for me was what?
The people,
Yeah.
hands down. And I know that's something that other people have said too, but it's the community of people around us. And while in many other nursing jobs, whether you're working in a hospital at the bedside or in a clinic, you have coworkers right around you. It's easy to say like, "Oh, Emily, my coworker, Rachel, my coworker." But now my coworkers are nationwide and our relationships are virtual. But I love that. We still have people to come alongside us, to cheer us on. And I love that about Catalyst because it can be kind of isolating sometimes to sit by yourself all day in front of a computer, but we Voxer each other, we text each other, we're talking about cases that we have going on. And I really need that personally to keep going.
Yes, I agree. I think doing it not alone is
Hmm.
such a huge part. And a lot of entrepreneurs miss that. A lot of legal nurses miss that because they're just trying to like make connections with people they don't really know through like a social media group or something. But man, it makes such a difference when you actually are making friendships and people who know you and see you.
Yep,
I
it
love that.
does.
That's
Mhm.
been an impact for you. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, you've told me a lot about how this has impacted your life outside of business.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it sounds like you're totally able to be mom now. You're able to be a wife to your husband, a mom to your kiddo. Your friendships and relationships are stronger, and you seem really at peace.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us about how this whole, and I ask you this again because I think this is one of the most important things to talk about when you're talking about entrepreneurship. Anything else you want to share with us about how this transition from hospital shift work to entrepreneurship and legal nursing has made an impact on your personal life outside of business?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. And I'm glad that you used the word peace because that's really how I feel. While the challenges are different than what I was doing as a nurse before, I I think now I'm able to take a breath and I can really enjoy motherhood. I don't feel like I'm rushing to get her to daycare. I'm rushing to pick her up. We're rushing to get through dinner. We're fighting through a bedtime routine because I think that my daughter sees that in me too. She sees that I enjoy time with her. And now I think that I'm able to, like I said, take a breath. And
Mm,
legal nursing just, it's been that. It's been difficult in ways, but it's also been a breath of fresh air for me.
gosh, that is a fantastic way to word that.
Hmm.
'Cause a lot of times I feel like, especially as nurses in the hospital, it's just pressure, pressure, pressure. You're always tired. At least I felt like when I was doing shift work, even though I had like, 3 or 4 days a week, I was so tired. Like it took a full day just to
Tired.
recover, and then
Yes.
it's like you're on call and now you're preparing for your next shift and you got to figure out your sleep schedule
And
because you
on
can't go
top of
anywhere.
shifts, it's certifications that you have to keep
Yes.
up with, going up there on extra days, just all the education that goes along with that. And there's definitely something to be said for it, but I love that this is an option for people in nursing.
I think a lot of people would relish the opportunity to be able to take a breath in life. So I love
Mhm.
that that's something you said has really been an impact to you.
Yeah, I told you before, but I am living my dream life, and not a lot of people get to say that, but it's something that you have to create, and Catalyst has allowed me to do that. You know, you can sit behind a desk at the hospital for years and years and wonder what's going to be next, but you have to take that step and be brave if you want something different.
Right. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to
Then you'll
keep
get
getting
what
what
you've
you've
always
always.
got.
That's right.
Yep. Yep.
So now there's probably going to be people watching this who are like considering, do I want to be a legal nurse? Is this right? I'm so scared. I don't know if Catalyst is the right training program for me. What would be your advice and your thoughts to them?
For someone who is thinking about joining Catalyst, I would say that if you're even thinking about it, it's probably because something in you is longing for more,
Mhm.
whether or longing for change, even. You know, investing in Catalyst is more than learning a new skill and changing your career path. I feel like it's about investing in yourself and your ability to shape the life that you want. So for me, deciding to join Catalyst truly changed my life path, my career path. There's so many ways to measure success in life, but every person who's successful at what they're doing now started out someplace new. And sometimes that's the scariest thing of all. But that attorney doesn't know that you're new at it. Your coworkers or your Catalyst community might, but there's somewhat of a fake it till you make it mentality, and that's okay. Imposter syndrome is real. That's okay, but that's why we have the Catalyst community.
Yes.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, if someone wants to learn more about you, your business, where should they go to learn more?
Yeah, my business is Garrett Legal Nurse Consulting. I'm on LinkedIn. I can be easily reached by phone or email. So if you're an attorney watching this, I'm here. I would love to work with you. If you are a fellow LNC, I love making connections with other legal nurse consultants. We need each other. For anyone contemplating this choice and you need more encouragement, you're welcome to reach out to me as well.
Well, that's great, Kelsey. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, for telling your story to others who might be thinking, gosh, I need something better. I need something different. I need change. I've got to find my peace and be able to take a breath. And I hope that your story resonates with them and gives them the courage to take steps to change their future. So I so appreciate you meeting with me
Yeah.
today.
Thanks so much, Randy. I appreciate everything that you've done and just what you've created through Catalyst.